So moving on here, we're going to see a little bit of math and we're going to see a little bit of debugging. Remember again that debugging is the process by which we eliminate errors that prevent our code from compiling. So when we go take a look here at our new modified piece of code, again, you'll notice that much of what is happening here is in fact simply a copy of the previous two examples that we saw here in the chapter 2 numeric demos portion. So as I scroll down, the new wrinkle here is going to be I want a sum, a difference, a product, and a quotient. Now, look at line 51 before anything else happens, and you should notice that there's something wrong there, right? On line 51, most of the way through the line, what you'll notice is that little red squiggly line underneath the word product. It's not that I spelled it wrong. It's not that anything is incorrect with, can an integer be a product? That is not the case. What is missing here is the comma. It's the, without the comma there, what C++ was looking at is very probably a space character, which we cannot use for a variable name. So if I don't put that comma in there, if I just coded and forgot about it and I run, what I'm going to get is an error in the compile time, at compile time rather. So it says here main.cpp, here's main.cpp. Line 51, here's line 51, here's line 29, right there, or line character 29. It says expected semicolon at end of declaration. And that wasn't what fixed the problem, right? If I put a semicolon here, it's going to fix this problem, but it's going to create this problem here. So I'll go ahead and run it again, and it's going to say quotient, use of undeclared identifier. That's because I've never told C++ what quotient is supposed to be. I didn't really mean to put a semicolon in there. I really meant to put a comma in there. The whole point of that spiel is the compiler is very good at helping you identify where an issue is. The compiler is also pretty okay at helping you identify what an issue is. It is not perfect at ironing out all those issues for you. So you do have to be aware of what the probable outcome of your mistakes is there. But you can absolutely use the compiler and those errors that are generated over here to point you in the right place. So all the way down here through line 82, we haven't changed anything. But what we do want to do is do a little bit of math. So right here, sum and difference is, so that's the resultant of adding and subtracting, right? It's been a while since grade school when we've actually used sum and difference to mean adding and subtracting, so I think it's worth mentioning it again. So the sum is from user 1 plus from user 2. The difference is from user 1 minus from user 2. So I'm just going to go ahead and run this. So I'm going to enter an integer, 4. I'm going to enter another integer, 2. And I'm going to hit enter, and the user entered the following integers. Did any math happen? Yeah, actually math did happen. Now, for the user, math didn't happen because we don't see the result of math happening. For the program, math happened. So what's happening here is after I hit enter here for my second integer, this statement executes. The user entered the following integers on line number 82. And that would happen right here. There's the end line, so that's why the caret is down here on the next line. To the user, everything stopped there. To the program, not everything stopped there. lines 88 and 89 are also executed. So we do have sum and difference. What happens here on every line for assignment, so that's what you're seeing here in an equation, is we are making an assignment. I'm going to highlight this. The right-hand side of the equals is done first. So from user 1 plus from user 2, the result of that is then saved here into the variable called sum. So for difference, from user 1 is or from user 2 rather is subtracted from user 1, and the result of that is saved into difference. The order of operations here matters. You see that in the text for chapter 2. Just knowing how in equal signs work is going to be of value to you just in general for understanding what's happening behind the scenes at compile time, at runtime, because that's going to help you identify some of your errors later on. So what I'm going to do is uncomment out this line, and it happens to be line 94. So again, it's command / or control on a PC /. So I mentioned it last time around that we have these character literals, things that mean something. So that \n means new line. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 new line characters there. So what we would expect to see is new line, new line, new line, new line, and then the sum of the integers is blah, 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 blah from there. So I'm going to go ahead and hit run. I'm going to hit 4 for integer 1. I'm going to hit 2 for integer 2, and all of a sudden we've got this big, unsightly, frankly, amount of space between the user entered the following integers, and now we do have the correct sum of the integers. What I would like you to do is, while you're here, without me having to, walk you through in the video here, let's fix this. Instead of this big unsightly gap between where the user entered their integers and where the result of the math from those integers goes, fix that. What can you do to make the output window look good so that a user sees the result or the action, the end of what their interaction with the program has had to be? The other part to that is we've already got a difference there, right? So we've assigned from user 1 minus from user 2 to the variable called difference, but we haven't outputted that any place. So make a cout statement where you output what the difference of the integers is, and see if you can get a satisfactory result there in the output window.